What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? TC with IOBA. So, this is my very last day. We fly out tomorrow morning, and it's been a really good vacation here in Trinidad and Tobago. And right now we are in Port of Spain. No, we're not. We're in San Fernando. God damn, we moved from city to city a lot. We went from Port of Spain to Point Fortin to San Fernando, and we've been going kind of back and forth. Yesterday we went to a place called San Fernando Hill, and it's this big, giant fucking mountain, and and it overlooks the whole city of San Fernando, and you can see pretty much everything from up there, and it's real nice, and they got it all nice up there, in places to sit. They got a place where you can hold banquets and things like that up there. People have their weddings and shit like that up there, but it's mostly a sightseeing spot where you can overlook the city, and that was real nice. But yesterday, yesterday I got a chance to talk to uh, my wife's husband for a little bit, and he's a career police officer here in San Fernando. He's been a homicide detective for something like 15, 20 years. And he had an interesting take on things. And he was a real laid back guy, but he had a real good perspective on policing and why he does what he does. And I got a lot of respect for him for that. Really nice guy. His name is Ian. And he's pro-black as opposed to, Indian, or we got a lot of Chinese down here, a lot of Asians down here, but he's definitely pro-black, him and his wife. And they try to do business with black people whenever they can. And down here in Trinidad, it's not that hard because a lot of black people are in business down here, and you can pretty much buy anything you want from a black person down here if you really need to. Because that's the same way the Indians and the Asians do it. They pretty much buy from each other and sell to each other to their own whenever possible. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. But we need to get that mindset back up in the States. We need to get more of that back up in the States. We're ADOS. We need to start buying from our own and doing business with our own, just like everybody else does. I mean, it seems to be, the prevailing wisdom, worldwide, that you buy and sell to and from your own. So I'm checking out a video from the David Pakman show. And I don't know how many of y'all know who David Pakman is, but he's just this video guy. He got probably 1 million or so subscribers, but he calls himself kind of a left-wing type of guy, and his politics are pretty much left-wing. But he spoke on reparations for black people, and he said that the Democrats would probably, he didn't say definitely, probably be doing themselves a disservice by talking about reparations for slavery and reparations for black people. He's one of these people who said that it would never get through Congress, and if Democrats started talking in favor of reparations for slavery and for black people, that it would definitely permanently sink them as a party, because the Republicans would just take control over the U.S. government, and it would be so for a long time. He said that the only way that the Democrats could get a reparations bill through is if they had a super majority in both houses of Congress and a Democratic president to sign that shit. But I said in my video the other day, I haven't posted it yet, but I'm gonna post it, that no president, in my personal opinion, no president wants to be the president that that gives the bag to black people. No president wants to be the president that signs over $1 trillion reparations bill to black people. They all get on YouTube and on TV and talk about how bad slavery was and how bad Jim Crow was and how it's a stain on the American history, and a big bad stain on the American fabric and all of that bullshit. But they all agree that they all seem to agree that paying reparations in the form of cash payouts is a bad idea politically. So that's what, David Pakman's feelings seem to be. So I went down into the comments section, right, after that video, and seeing what his viewers kind of think. And most of them kind of agree with David Pakman, because they're all saying that paying money for money as reparations for slavery is a bad idea. And they had, to me what sounded like a bunch of racist fucking views when they say that, black people, now they're talking about 30 or 40 million black people, that black people would just, it would do us a disservice, because we would become prey for people looking to separate us from our money. They said like we're a bunch of idiots who don't know what to do when we get $1. One guy said that it would be like giving us a lottery payout and we'll be broke inside a year. You had motherfuckers talking about it would not be a solution to racism and bigotry and all of those things. Giving us money would not end racism and bigotry and all of that. Look, as far as I'm concerned, it go like this. If you pay us our reparations in the form of money, it will not end racism and bigotry. But it's not intended to end racism and bigotry, is it? Nothing will end bigotry and racism. Racism is a system where one race uses its race, its accident of birth, to control another race. That's racism. When you get a powerful white man like Donald Trump using the fact that he white to control a large group of people who don't look like him, that's racism. Prejudice and bigotry, those are personal feelings that people have towards somebody who doesn't look like them. You ain't never going to get rid of that. Everybody carries that. Everybody carries that. So reparations is not intended to cure racism and bigotry. It's not, because it can't. Right? And as far as some people are going to blow their money. Just like when you pay reparations to Native Americans, some people don't know what to do with it. Some people fuck the money all up. Right? Poverty and alcoholism is high on Indian reservations. They still get their money. Saying that black people wouldn't know what to do with the money is like saying that every black person in the United States that is a descendant from slaves is also an idiot and don't know what to do. If you gave him $2 extra in his paycheck every week, he'd just blow it on stupidness. Every black person in America. No black person in America would have sense enough to invest or start a business or lift themselves out of out of their condition of poverty. The wealth gap in this country wasn't created overnight. That shit was created from 1619 when the first slaves were brought here to now, and it's been maintained through government set-asides and shit like that only white people could get. Why is it that when David Pakman and some of these others who try to wade in on the debate of reparations, why don't they get people like Antonio Moore, Claude Anderson, Sandy Darity, Yvette Carnell, Tariq Nasheed? Why don't they get these people on to talk about it? And who can articulate this better, instead of going for the people who they know who they know and they know what the answer is going to be and to the questions that they frame in such a way as to facilitate the answer that they want. Why don't they get some people on there that are going to argue, that are going to make the argument for cash payouts in a very articulate way? Why don't they get those people? Because they don't want to hear that shit. But they all know that payment is due. Now, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. What business is it of yours what I do with the fucking money after you give it to me? And that's number one. And number two, it ain't going to be just, they also got to know that it ain't going to be just one check. It's going to be trillions of dollars paid out over a long period of time. It's going to be like a fucking annuity. It's going to be like what y'all give to the Jewish people and the Holocaust people, the Holocaust survivors. Because like I said on many occasions, and like many other people have said, the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust was, 70, 80 years ago? And I didn't have shit to do with it. But y'all have no problem taking my tax dollars and paying out that money. We give Israel what? Billions of dollars every year. Every year, and it goes up. And we support every action that Israel does. And we use our military to support Israel. All because of the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust back in the 1940s. So we do that. And we pay reparations. We paid reparations to the slave holders after their slaves were freed, right after the Civil War. But we were just let go and told to go fend for yourself. In other words, they got a problem. They don't have a problem paying anybody else any money, except when it comes to black people. So the prejudices and the racism and the bullshit is still there. Now, like I said before, you could be prejudiced all you want. You could be racist all you fucking want. But it's harder to express your racism on a motherfucker that's got a few dollars in his pocket, because he can sue your ass. It's harder to express your racism on a person who don't have to be close to you, who can live anywhere he wants to live. It's harder to express your racism on a person who can leave the country and live somewhere else, because now he has the means to do that. It's harder to express your racism on a person who has a business and doesn't have to work for you. So, kill that noise about what you think black people are going to do with the money if you give it to them. Kill that noise about racism is a check, a cash payout is not going to cure racism or make racism go away. Ain't nobody trying to make racism go away. You can't make it go away. These are all separate fucking arguments and non sequiturs that have nothing to do with you owing me money. And I'm going to say this before I go. The next motherfucker that say Barack Obama was payment and reparations for slavery, I think I'm going to hunt that motherfucker down and slap him in the mouth myself. Because that's the most idiotic, asinine, racist thing that could come out of somebody's fucking mouth. that Barack Obama was payment for reparations, the election of him as president of the United States. You couldn't say something more stupid if you tried. You couldn't say something more idiotic if you tried. You sound like when you say that, when somebody say that, and I'm talking about Mitch McConnell and any other goddamn Republican or Democrat or black person that says that Barack Obama was payment for reparations. I'm talking about when you say that, you make yourself sound like the dumbest motherfucker that ever goddamn draw breath. Really, not to mention racist. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out, cause yeah, my wife's son coming to pick us up, and we're going in town and pick up the last few items before we leave. But Trinidad is beautiful, man. And relaxing. If you get a chance to come to the Caribbean, come here. Come to Trinidad and Tobago, and spend your time here, right? Because it's nice and the people are wonderful. I have no bad experience at all. But like I said, I don't stay in fucking resorts and bullshit like that either. But I didn't have no bad experiences and didn't encounter any bad situations. So I catch y'all on the next one. TC, and I'm out.